This week on the HexxedPhenom Gamescast, we talk about Call of Duty Vanguard potentially getting a Captain America and Indiana Jones skin. We talk about Grand Theft Auto 4 possibly getting remastered. We talk about PlayStation 5's 1-year anniversary and so much more, because this is the HexxedPhenom Gamescast, the show where we bring you the nerdy video game news you need to know about each and every week. It goes live every Saturday on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom and on podcast services around the globe. Still not Apple Podcasts. I don't know what the fuck to do.
I'm just like, did it happen yet? We'll give you a confirmation when it finally happens.
Yeah.
Because it will be epic.
I don't know what to do. I've literally resubmitted it 5 different times.
You just email the head of Apple.
It's not even that they're declining it. They're just letting it sit there and not doing anything to it. They're not responding to the attempt to put it on the service. So I don't know what the hell the problem is. But hopefully it gets resolved soon. We'll let you know when it does. But otherwise, pretty much every other podcast service, you should be able to get the podcast there. If not, please let me know in the comments of the YouTube video. But I'm one of your hosts, Josh, a.k.a. HexxedPhenom, and I'm joined by my co-host, JP, the Abstract Rocker. How you doing, man?
Yeah, well, I'm doing pretty good, man. Been a damn good Friday. Had off of work, which is great.
Nice. Love to see that.
Other than that, just had a good time. I've been playing a lot of Far Cry.
Nice.
And, of course, I've been playing Call of Duty Vanguard.
Yes, me too.
I must say, I love what I see. I have not cracked into the campaign yet. But don't you worry, once I have free time, I will be streaming the whole entire campaign in one damn day. That's just how I do it. So, it's definitely been going. What have you been gaming on, boy?
For me, I've also been doing a lot of Vanguard. I did go through the campaign. I beat it on Veteran over the course of 2 nights. I don't remember. I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track, but if I had to guess, I would say it took me maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 hours, somewhere around there. Like I said, I wasn't really keeping track, so I don't know. But
not bad.
I like the story a lot. It does a lot of jumping around between different not time periods, but different events of World War II, which is really cool. And it shows you the different perspective of each of the different soldiers through different battles and whatnot. I really liked the way they handled it. I do wish it was a bit longer personally, but I can't really complain, I guess.
I'm just glad I've got a campaign.
That's true.
Because Battlefield 2042 sure as hell didn't do that, fortunately.
But yeah, the cutscenes and the mocap is just absolutely beautiful. All of the environments in the campaign and pretty much everywhere in the game are incredible. Multiplayer, I like quite a bit. I still have, my own personal issues with the whole skill-based matchmaking thing, but that's pretty much here to stay in Call of Duty, unfortunately. But the multiplayer in and of itself, it's the most content we've had in a Call of Duty multiplayer at launch since forever, probably. Probably since Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2.
Yeah, it's been a while. 20 multiplayer map. Then we got Shipment coming on Vanguard.
Yeah, Shipment, cool. I think it's coming next Thursday or next Friday. And then Season 1 will be December, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, somewhere around there. I will say, obviously, it's the launch of a Call of Duty multiplayer. There's always going to be some issues, but I would say for the most part, it's been the best multiplayer launch that we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Servers have held up pretty well. Obviously, there's
there's lag, and there was some lag problems, but they seem to get rid of a lot now with patches and fixes, so that was good.
I will say weapon balancing is the one thing that definitely needs a pass, because... And it's granted, it's a situation they kind of created for themselves with the whole create a class system, being able to have 10 attachments on any gun, and just the amount of attachments that
there's a lot
that need to be tested for each gun. There are some combinations that are very broken.
And there's 70 levels per weapon now.
Yeah,
and they're apparently are they gonna up it to 100?
I certainly hope not.
I was gonna say, I know there's 70 because
70 is already way too much, in my opinion.
The MG42, I'm already at level 53. You got to keep feeding the fan base, because these people, there's a lot of people who have no life. My one friend literally got to level 70 on a gun within a day and a half, and I'm like, dude, that is crazy. But yeah, it's definitely quite a time on multiplayer.
I maxed out one gun, and it was the MP40, and that's only because it was the only gun I was using in zombies and multiplayer. I was using the operator whose favorite weapon was the MP40, which gives you bonus weapon XP. And then I used a a couple of double weapon XP tokens, because you got, for getting the deluxe edition, I got 5 hours of double XP and double weapon XP. So I used like 2 hours of double weapon XP.
Oh, I still need to cash in.
And even then, it was still like, it was still a freaking grind to get one weapon maxed out. So, and plus they're going to be adding multiple weapons per season. So I think that should definitely fill the void for most people more than, you know, adding more attachments to the weapons. But there are some really overpowered attachment combinations. Like there are a few guns that if you put on a specific ammo type and a specific like weapon perk, you can get like 2-shot kills in core, like for no reason. Like I know the Type 100, if you put on like the higher caliber ammunition, I think it's like 8, or I think it's 30 Russian short. If you put on the 30 Russian short mags, and then there's a proficiency called Vital, which will make it so that you get headshot damage from the chest up. So if you hit anybody in the chest, you're getting a 2-shot kill. And it's just like, stuff like that needs to get fixed. But for the most part, it's outside of weapon balancing, it's still pretty damn good. Zombies, I definitely have harsh opinions about. I'm still not the biggest fan of the zombies mode. All I can hope for is that they fix it down the line, but I think zombies right now is just by far the weakest part of the game for me.
Yeah, as I say, definitely, it needs improvement. I mean, I don't mind the zombie mode itself. I mean, I know there's been leaks of assault, domination, a new world or two, which is probably gonna have 3 splits per map, if I had to guess. But you know, I don't mind the zombies mode in this. I think it really just comes down to, do you like Outbreak and Onslaught? Because if you don't, more than likely you are not gonna like the zombies mode until they start improving or doing round base, which they started talking about, which is cool.
I'm still not getting my hopes up because I
love the Stalingrad concept though, like actually being in the whole city, like center city Stalingrad. I think that's really cool. But at the same time, you know, I thought it was interesting too with zombies because Zombie Army Trilogy or Zombie Army took influence from Call of Duty, and they were from Sniper Elite and they turned into zombies. Well, now Call of Duty is being influenced by Zombie Army because now you have all this new stuff that is only in Zombie Army, like bombers and the machine gunners. So it's just really cool to see it all happen because they literally ripped them right from Zombie Army. They just changed very slight things about them. Even the bombers have the same shriek. Like it's just, you can tell that they have to love Zombie Army. Have to. So
I don't remember about machine gunners, but the bombers were already in World War II zombies.
Yeah, they don't shriek like they do in this game. They literally shriek just like Zombie Army, or in this case it'd be Zombie Army 4. The machine gunners have always been in Zombie Army, even Trilogy. The same exact mold. The only thing that they did in this is the bombers now from World War II. World War II, honestly, the World War II ones were really, really interesting. Didn't they call them like rats or something? Or what the hell was the round?
I don't remember.
They had a name for them. They weren't called bombers. Now they're called bombers. And I'm like, okay.
No, I think you're thinking of 2 different enemies. Because there was the bombers
things,
were the ones that they actually physically had like a giant like bomb on their back that they would drop when you killed them.
Yeah, not that concept.
But there was like their version of the dogs round in World War II. I don't remember what the hell that was, but I don't think those guys exploded.
Because then in this game they're all red, which is a complete mark of Zombie Army because they're all red in that game. In the Trilogy they are suicide or Nazis. In Zombie Army 4, they are just red painted soldiers that come up and explode. And usually they have grenades in their mouth and they just blow up. So seeing them in this was no surprise, really. Even the freaking shriek, I'm like, that's interesting. The machine gunners, though, look exactly like Zombie Army. The only difference is they put them in that new getup with the whole cross and the red and all that. You know, they even carry the same mock weapon, not the same exact one because it's in different periods, but you know, so it was pretty cool to see like the whole Zombie Army thing go in the Call of Duty, like Zombie Army loves Call of Duty zombies. So that's just some of the things I've been picking up. Like there's a lot of like Zombie Army references in zombie mode. It's pretty interesting to me. I mean, some people could call it ripping them off, but you know, at least zombies is starting to go in a different direction where it's not only round-based. I know people like the round-based maps, and I can't wait to have them back, but I'd rather do something different, and that's when I loved Outbreak. It just sucks how, stability-wise, best. We still have to eventually try doing Outbreak on Cold War at some point. But
See, the thing is, though, is like I loved both Outbreak and Onslaught, but I don't like the Vanguard Zombies mode. So, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that if you like one or both of those modes, you'll automatically like Vanguard. But
some people are confused too. They think it's like round based and it's world based. I don't. It's just, you know, they're gonna definitely level with everybody. They've already talked about it, and the developers are already like, we're gonna level with people. Definitely, they already confirmed definitely without a doubt, round based will be in the next Treyarch game, and they're going to level this game. But you know, I think it's definitely a nice twist on zombies. Yeah, you know, it's definitely a weak offering in the beginning, but Cold War started off with a half-baked remaster, so I hated that. So, you know, seems like it levels out. You know, like some people hated D Machine, like me. Some people hate Vanguard Zombies. Time makes everything better. Hopefully they could patch some stuff in, but it's not going to be perfect because Treyarch, once again, for like the 4th straight game in a row, saved the day. So, you know, it's just how it is. It sucks, but, you know, I'll take what we have in zombies. It's just, I just wish there was like 1 or 2 more objectives when they
that's
launch.
definitely the thing for me is like,
at least that'll be season 1.
You only have 3 objectives, and if you're playing a long game, you're going to do those same 3 objectives 4, 5 times, 6 times.
Yep.
And it's just like, man, even if it launched with like 4 or 5, I think that would have made things significantly better.
The good news is, though, you could take advantage of where they only give you. You could literally boost in every single one of those. Besides, well, every single one you could boost. Harvester is probably the easiest one to boost because you could just literally take it to phase 3 and just keep killing zombies. So it's not like it's all bad. There are ways out and ways to like fix the game. There goes my water. My God, there goes my water. But yeah, hopefully, season 1 it's already looking pretty good with the leaks and all the updates. So we'll have to see where it goes. But I don't really have a lot of issues with Vanguard Zombies. I just wish there was more content. But you know,
I don't think they're going to. But I think even just as a like gesture of goodwill. I don't even think they need to do this for all the future maps or whatever, but I think even as just a sign of goodwill, if they just took Stalingrad and made it a round-based map, and then just replaced the portals with debris or doors, I think that would make a lot of people happy.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. Something tells me they're gonna do that. That's the easiest choice they have right now. It would take them maybe 2-3 weeks to do that.
Yeah,
like, you know. So there's options out of it. Work in progress, and you know, apparently a lot of multiplayer people were working on zombies for this. So, you know, I'd say for the first attempt at zombies, it wasn't really bad. I mean, yeah, it was more of a copy paste and changing a few things up and wingdings. Yeah, I just love zombies in general. So, you know, it's like I said, I hated Cold War's launch with D Machine. So, you know, it's kind of just the same thing, just a different problem. In retrospect. Instead of having another map at Cold War, it's now, we want a round-based map. So, you know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I love Cold War. I love Cold War in general, but I love Vanguard. I really haven't felt this vibes for a World War II Call of Duty since World at War. World War II was a great one, too. It's just, it missed it in a few things for me where Vanguard comes right through the hoop. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. And in this case, you know, World at War had knocked her in tow and no one knew what the hell was going on when you finish the game and you're like, wow, there's zombies mode, what the hell? And now you actually have a full-fledged kind of zombies mode. So I'm like, yeah. Hopefully time changes it, and what you said, season 1 starts, December like 5th or something? It's definitely, it's not far off from when we're recording this video.
Cold War.
12th of November.
No, I'm not looking for Cold War.
Cold War.
Call of Duty Vanguard Season 1.
God.
Call of Duty Vanguard Season 1. Why is it making me try to buy the game? December 2nd, Season 1 begins. So,
okay.
We're only a couple weeks away from that.
We're about half a month away. That's not bad.
But I'm definitely looking forward to the future of Vanguard. The other game that I've been playing, I finally got it to work. Thank God. I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 5, and let me tell you, JP, I have been having a ton of fun. A ton of fun. I haven't played enough to know if it's my new game of the year, but I think it definitely is game of the year contender for me. It's just so good. I mean, I will say the one thing. What was that?
Been hearing some good things about it.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that sucked a lot was the for context, I'm playing on PC through Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if so I had this problem for the first couple of days after the game came out where so with the Game Pass version, if you wanted to, the Game Pass version is obviously just the base version of the game. Then if you wanted to, you could buy a separate DLC to upgrade the Game Pass version to the Digital Deluxe Edition or whatever the hell they called it.
Oh, okay.
And so the Digital Deluxe came with, basically the season pass, so the 2 expansions that end up coming out later. You get a car pass, which gives you one or two new cars every week. And I think they've already said it's going to give you, by the end of it gives you 50 total cars, I think.
That's not bad.
So there's that. It gives you VIP status, which I think that gives you like extra XP and extra money rewards at the end of every race. And then you also got, I think, 4 or 5 days early access to the game. So if you wanted the early access, you could download the Game Pass version and then buy this, I think it was like a $30 or $40 DLC upgrade or whatever. So I was really looking forward to the game, and I was like, well, I'm going to end up buying all of this stuff probably anyways. The car pass, all that other stuff. And all of it separately is obviously way more expensive than just buying the Digital Deluxe upgrade. I was like, exactly. Plus you get the 4 days early access or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll buy it. And I was smart enough beforehand to look up like benchmarks of the game to make sure that my PC would be able to run it, because my PC is not the best. But
at least it could run it though, right?
Well, yes, but after I downloaded the game and I tried to play it, the game just straight up wouldn't launch. Like, no matter what I did. Like, I had the newest graphics driver installed. I had the newest version of Windows installed.
It wouldn't launch.
All this other stuff. And literally, like, it would launch, and the first thing that the game pops up is it shows a black screen with, like, all the different warnings on it and all the different languages. Like, oh, don't, the generic stuff you see at the beginning of a racing game. Like, oh, don't try this at home, whatever, all that stuff. All the warnings. And then it would show like a little circle spinning in the bottom. And literally the circle would spin twice, stop, and then the game would crash. Like, I could not get past this warning screen. And I was like,
that's
oh my God.
Man. That's unfortunate.
And for a while I was like, am I stupid? Like, can my PC not run this game? And I knew that it could, but I was like second guessing myself because I was like, am I stupid? But turns out, like, I was looking on like the Forza support websites and all this other stuff, and turns out there was a really weird problem with the game at launch, where certain applications on your computer were just causing the game to not be able to launch at all. And it was like very basic programs, like any type of antivirus software. If you had it on your computer, there was a chance for the game to just not launch. And it was basically luck on if it affected you or not. So like any type of antivirus, like anything like Discord or like Spotify or any type of like streaming thing, so like OBS or like the Elgato capture software, like basically anything that could have any type of interaction with the game app could cause the game to crash. And basically, from what I understand, the game's like anti-cheat type of thing was basically detecting these programs like accessing the game files or whatever, and it some reason detected them as cheats, and so it would just automatically hard crash the game.
Oh, okay.
Because it thought you were cheating.
Well, that's always fun.
I'm like, well, at least it shows that they have a competent anti-cheat system, if that's what it really was. But I mean, yeah, exactly. Also, I basically paid. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm still obviously going to get all that DLC. But I basically, originally, the reason I paid for it was because I wanted the early access. Because you could spend that money to upgrade the thing at any time. But I was like, well, I would get more of my money's worth to have it early for 5 days. But I couldn't play it all during the early access period anyways, because this glitch lasted for like a week. So I couldn't even actually play the game until like, not yesterday, but the day before, so Wednesday. But having the little bit that I've played since then, it is a ton of fun. I mean, it is it is mostly just more Forza Horizon, but I don't think that's a bad thing. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it doesn't run the best on my PC. Like, I can get it at a decent frame rate at like medium settings, so that's good enough for me. But yeah, the game is incredible. It's just crazy. Like, the game literally, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. The game literally is just like hype. Like, the game just does
hype.
all the game does is just hype you up like the whole time. And it's just like literally like the opening sequence is like you are like fucking
hype as fuck.
This jumbo jet comes in and just drops your car out of the fucking sky down a volcano, and that's how the game starts. And you're just seamless from the cutscene. Your car drops out of a fucking
that's
out of a fucking
volcano.
Like airplane, and you're just driving down this volcano at the side of this volcano.
Well,
and it's just like that's how the game starts, and there's just shit like that throughout the entire game, like racing like a freight train and like all this other stuff. So it's a ton of fun. It's a super arcadey like version of what you expect from Forza. There's like 570 something cars.
That's cool that they at least deliver
insane.
on that.
So,
yeah, a lot of my friends are really stoked about cars. I'm glad they deliver on 500 so cars. That's fucking crazy.
And
that's cool.
You know, it's 570 cars right now, but I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think Forza Horizon 4 launched with like around the same number of cars, like 500, and it ended up by the end of its DLC cycle, it had like 730. So they're constantly adding new cars, even after like the DLC expansions are done. Pretty much every couple weeks, they're putting in new cars in their what do they call it? The festival playlist, which it'll give you like a certain set of objectives that you have to complete in like a week, like a real life week, and that'll earn you a certain amount of points. And if you get a certain amount of points for that season, it'll give you whatever the cars are for that week. There's 2 of them usually. They're usually new cars that you can only get through doing that. Like, you can't buy them with credits or anything like that. So a lot of them, a lot of those cars end up being super rare and stuff like that, which is really cool. But yeah, if you have a PC or any type of Xbox, I guarantee that you will have a fun time with Forza Horizon 5. Definitely check it out. It's on Game Pass, like I said, for free. I chose to upgrade to the Digital Deluxe. But yeah, a ton of fun. But with that being said, JP, let's get into some of the news stories we got today.
And we got some interesting ones. Some I was expecting in the Call of Duty aspect.
Let's start off with a quick one. Marvel's Midnight Suns delayed until late 2022. It was originally slated for March 2022. This is from Nicole Carpenter over at Polygon.
Well, that's not too much of a delay.
Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed until the second half of 2022, developer Firaxis Games announced Wednesday. The card-driven, turn-based role-playing game was originally slated for release in March. Quote, "We decided to share that we've made the very tough decision to move our launch window to the second half of 2022, end quote, Marvel's Midnight Suns development team announced Wednesday via Twitter. Quote, "We know many fans were looking forward to playing the game originally next spring, and the decision did not come lightly," end quote. Creative director Jake Solomon and senior franchise producer Garth DeAngelis said Firaxis Games needs more time to make this game the best game possible. The extra months of development will be used to quote, add more story, cinematics, and overall polish, Firaxis said.
Well, the good news is, I mean, kind of made the right call, and it's not too late either. Like, they did it, honestly, at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, the thing is now, you know, the pandemic changed a lot of things, especially when, I mean, for example, Call of Duty Vanguard had thousands of people from around the world making the game from home. So as you can imagine, in terms of game development, it's not the same as being in the studio and just hyper-filing it to the other computers of the devs and being like, hey, can you fix that, this, and that? It's like emails and files, and in this case, like we covered before, website hosts that stream things, and in that case, for that story, it got all leaked, and we went down the list. But
oh yeah, the NVIDIA GeForce Now.
So, you know, you're trying to work around all these problems to just the time period that you're living in doing this. So, if it comes down to delaying the game, yeah, sure. At least these developers like took the time to be like, oh hey, like not like Dying Light and a few other games. They kind of were like nearing the window of this release. They were like, yeah, we're gonna throw it out to so and so time. But in this case, we're in November.
Yeah, we were
and
4 months.
We were still 4 or 5 months away, and they just pushed off for another like 4 or 5 months. So
yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I definitely commend them on it, and at least it wasn't a last minute thing because people anymore, they get triggered over anything.
And the way it sounds, like them saying it's going to add more story and cinematics,
and you're going to get more out of it.
Yeah, it makes it sound like it's not just for like polishing and like bug fixes. It seems like it's actually going to substantially make the game a larger experience overall. So I mean,
just for everybody,
I'm all for that.
Everybody wins. They win. They have more time. We win. Obviously, I'm not going to get the game, but whoever does, they win. In that retrospect, they get more cinematics, more story, more pulp. Term you want to. You get more meat. So why not? Or as it said, mean potatoes.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty interesting. I didn't even know that game even existed. So I learned something.
I'm trying to think where it was announced. I think it was during the... No, I don't remember. I thought maybe it was during that PlayStation Games showcase, but I don't think that's what it was. I think it was the... that Summer Games Fest thing, whatever that was. I think it was announced there. But it basically, from what I understand, it's similar to... Well, no, not... It was rumored that it was going to be like an XCOM Marvel game. But it's card based, so I'm not 100% sure how exactly that works out. I honestly haven't seen much of the game outside of the reveal trailer. But I mean, it's a Marvel game, so I'm not sure that I'm going to buy it right away, but it definitely at least has my attention just by being a Marvel game. So we'll see where that ends up. But JP, speaking of Marvel and Marvel games, we finally have our first look at Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers.
This is a PlayStation exclusive thing?
Yes.
Okay, I remember people being triggered about something with Spider-Man. Okay, cool. I thought it was this. All right, here we go.
This is from Joe Screvels over at IGN. Check out the Avengers take on Peter Parker exclusively with IGN. IGN can exclusively reveal the introductory trailer for Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers, which shows off Crystal Dynamics' take on Peter Parker for the first time. The trailer is a cinematic rather than straight gameplay, but gives us an idea of Spider-Man's acrobatic moveset, web shooting abilities, and all but confirms web swinging and wall crawling across the game's environments. The cinematic sees Peter ambushing and taking on a group of AIM soldiers that have taken hostages before being joined by the entire Avengers lineup. Square Enix hasn't yet confirmed who's providing the voice of Peter Parker in this incarnation of the character. Arriving as part of the With Great Power expansion for PlayStation owners of the game, due for release on November 30th, Spider-Man will be the 9th playable hero in the multiplayer game. The expansion sees Peter Parker discover AIM's plans to make its robot army invincible before joining forces with the Avengers. Spider-Man was announced as a PlayStation exclusive character before release, but it's been a very long wait for the character to be added, with Crystal Dynamics repeatedly reconfirming that he would arrive. Well, that's the end of the article. Honestly, like, I can't play to play it safe, I'm not going to play the trailer, like, in the video.
No, it's just for copyright reasons. Yeah, I don't blame you.
This trailer does not look good at all. Like,
you'll have to show it to me after we get out of the podcast. Wow.
I mean, I could show it to you right now. Oh. I just won't play it on screen for them.
Well, we're about to have a live reaction video of someone who's not into the...
Spider-Man just moves so fucking slow. Like, it literally looks like he's moving in slow motion, and I don't understand why. Like, the cinematic looks...
We have a hot
so
take right
stiff
here right
and
now.
so, like, it just looks horribly animated, in my opinion.
All right, so this is going to be a person that's not usually into this kind of stuff.
Like,
hot take.
The way I see it is like, the way I would compare it is like, think about how he moves in the PS4 game compared to how slow as fuck he moves in this trailer.
Oh god, I love the Marvel Spider-Man game, so I feel like this is going to be quite a reaction right here, and especially if you're watching on the video, you can really see my facial expressions. Okay, all right, there he is.
I think this trailer is only like 1 minute and 30 seconds. Like, once he actually starts fighting, he just looks slow as hell.
it's kind of like it's not really even Peter Parker. It's someone else trying to beat Spider-Man. The moves are all there. It's just like Josh said. This is so incredibly slow compared to what I see Spider-Man. Even in the movies, like it's kind of like he put on a lot of weight and he just doesn't have it anymore. It's kind of strange. He looks a little bulkier than he does in the other games. I don't know why. He looks just a little bit bulkier, more so muscle tone. But yeah, I gotta say that's cool. He's in the game, but he moves like he doesn't have it anymore.
And granted, like, yeah, obviously strange, this is really just a cinematic trailer. Like, it's not really representative of how he'll play in the game.
He's kind of like...
It seems like this is such a horrible way to show him off. Because it's also like...
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have the sound on, so you can't hear it, but, like, it's very obvious in the trailer that it's not... He's not played by the same voice actor as the Spider-Man PS4 game, which I think they did that intentionally because they're probably trying to separate it from that as much as possible. But yeah, I don't know. Like, even the voice that they have, like, didn't do anything for me. Like, it just, I don't know.
Yeah,
overall, like,
it was cool seeing him in it. It's just from the rate that you think Spider-Man moved, like, say if he had a 10 speed Marvel Spider-Man game, I'd say in that trailer he moves at like a solid like 6.5, maybe 7. Like, you could tell he like I said, it doesn't seem like it's really Peter Parker. Like, it seems like it's someone else trying to be Spider-Man. The acrobatics and everything are there. It's just slowed down to such a rough pace.
Yeah. I feel like almost everyone in the game is like super slow and sluggish like that, at least from what I've played. Like, I don't know. It's just hard for me to be excited about anything relating to this game. Like, it wasn't in this news article, but on Twitter they were posting like some of the suits that he's going to have in the game, and it's like some of them look cool, but like almost all of them were ones that were already in the PS4 game that they changed the look of a little bit, but like, and then plus almost all of them you're going to have to buy. So like, and I'm pretty sure like most skins in that game are like $10 a pop. So it's like, it literally doesn't matter to me. Anything, like, it's cool that he's finally getting put in the game, considering he was advertised before the game even came out. But
only be revealed.
Yeah, well,
or is that just a deal they already told you from the get-go?
Yeah, he was announced as a PlayStation exclusive from the beginning.
Oh, well, that's good. At least they didn't lie about that one.
I also think that deal is just weird. Like, I understand the backstage politics that probably happened with it, considering, you know, the shit between Sony and Marvel for, like, Spider-Man movie rights. I assume they probably played politics with that shit to get some of it, to get, like, this deal, which...
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt, they definitely did politics. Crazy.
I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times here on the show about some of the bullshit that they've pulled with this game. And like I said, it's just hard for me to actually give a shit about anything happening with this game.
Yeah, don't worry. I totally feel you. Totally feel you on that. I won't give a shit either, honestly. But yeah, he moves like he's missing a step, like he doesn't have it anymore. It's kind of strange, but...
Man, it would be a really good transition to talk about the Captain America and Vanguard stuff, but I'm going to save that for last. But
that's probably the most bonkers story of the fucking.
Well, actually, you know what? Okay, let's dial back. Of course, Spider-Man in the Marvel's Avengers game is going to be exclusive to the PS4 and PS5 versions of the game, JP. But speaking of PS5, the PS5 turns 1 today. 1 year old. 1 year old.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. That means I've had my console for probably about 10 months. Not bad at all. Turns 1. So for all the people that were lucky enough to get it, except for the scalpers, because they're the problem, I'd say we could all celebrate, and we could hope everybody else could get a console.
So there's a like celebratory article over on the PlayStation blog by Jim Ryan, who's the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. It's mostly just a bunch of PR talk of like, oh, you know, PlayStation players have, you know, seen all these great games and all this other stuff, and you know the generic stuff. But the thing I found the most interesting is they actually laid out the 10 top most played games on the PS5. And I thought it was an interesting list to go through and discuss. So starting from number 1, the most played game on the PS5, I think it's no surprise, is Fortnite. Number 2 is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Number 3 is FIFA 21. Number 4 is NBA 2K21. Number 5 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Number 6 is Destiny 2. Number 7 is MLB The Show 21.
That was a damn good game.
Number 8 is Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Number 9 is Demon Souls. And number 10 is NBA 2K22. So JP, just off the start, do you have any thoughts about that list? Is it surprising to you? Is it...
Well, I'll tell you about Fortnite. I'm glad Travis Scott got removed from that. Other than that, I just despise Fortnite, so it's really whatever. Call of Duty Cold War, of course. I have that. MLB The Show 21, you totally have to play that. It is absolutely incredible, even if you have it on PS4. NBA 2K22, that game is just stagnant. I know people just love to play it just because it came out, but it's really not that different from 21. Oh, and ironically, NBA 21 is on here. Mamba.
I mean, overall, this list doesn't surprise me at all.
This list does not surprise me. Assassin's Creed, I had a feeling that'd be there. And then Miles Morales.
I would honestly argue, and I mean, this is coming from someone who absolutely adores the Spider-Man games. I would honestly say the biggest surprise on this list for me is Miles Morales. Kind of. I'm
amazed that Spider-Man, the normal Spider-Man, was
Spider-Man Remastered.
Yeah, I'm amazed because I'm not playing Miles Morales. I mean, I know it's the in-between game for everything that's happening, but yeah, I don't really know how to. I just thought it'd be the Spider-Man PS5 remaster that would take its spot, but.
Well, for me, I think it's most surprising. I mean, you have a good point. I think what most people honestly did with the remaster is I feel like some people turned it on and played it for a couple hours, but I feel like most people probably just
pop the platinum.
Yeah, transferred their save over, pop the platininem, and then
that's all I did. That's all I did. I was thinking about playing it, and then I was thinking about space, and I had to delete it.
But
yes, I didn't pay a dime.
To me, Miles Morales is surprising, mostly because of how short it is. So the fact that it is in the top 10 most played games on PS5 is impressive, because that shows that, honestly, that just shows, I think, that it sold a shit ton of copies, and it's there just by brute force. Because, like, the main story takes like some 6 hours to beat. If you 100% the game, it maybe takes like 8.5. If you platinum it takes maybe like 12 total. So, I mean, overall, it's very short. You're in and out. Like, so I think the fact that it's on this list at all shows just how many copies it sold.
Yeah, that's honestly what I get out of it.
But then all the other games are no surprise to me. All the sports games, with the exception of Madden, which I'm honestly kind of surprised Madden's not on here.
I'm actually amazed Warzone is not on that list.
That was another thing, yeah.
I'm actually amazed. I have a feeling Warzone and NBA 2K22 or Demon Souls.
I wonder maybe if it's because... I wonder if it didn't track Warzone, because Warzone doesn't have a dedicated PS5 version. I wonder if maybe that's why.
That might be why, because if not, Warzone would be guaranteed.
Yeah, because it specifically says the top 10 PS5 games played during the PS5's first year. Oh, so that's probably why.
If not, Warzone,
it probably would have been right under Fortnite.
Warzone would have been right there with Fortnite.
But
so, yeah, not a bad list. I mean, like you said, it's not surprising. It's just that Warzone kind of screwed me up. So I'm like, oh, but yeah, it doesn't have a PS5 version. That's probably why it's not there, else it would be number 2.
Yeah, seeing all the sports games and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, from what I understand, is very long, so that makes sense. Destiny 2 makes a lot of sense. Call of Duty makes a lot of sense. I guess Demon Souls is kind of surprising too, because I feel like the Souls games are very niche, so it is kind of surprising to see that it's in the top 10 most played games on the PS5.
Exactly right.
So, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, I think that list makes a lot of sense. I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was interesting, just to talk about it and see where things lie. I mean,
Exactamundo. Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. So yeah, the Warzone thing. Yeah, it's not. That definitely makes sense.
But BP, we just talked a whole lot about PlayStation and the PlayStation 5's first anniversary, first birthday, whatever you want to say. But Xbox Series X also just celebrated its first birthday. And to celebrate, GP, Gucci made a $10,000 Xbox, which comes with Xbox Game Pass.
Well, if you're paying $10,000 for an Xbox, what the hell is the damn difference if there's Game Pass? Clearly, you could afford it. I mean, if you're dropping $10,000 on a console, you could afford Game Pass. Trust me, you could afford it. You could definitely afford that Game Pass.
This is such like a meme story that I just thought it was hilarious.
When you said that, I'm like, is this a joke?
There's only 100 Gucci Xbox Series X's that'll be sold, JP. This is by Michael McWhirter over at Polygon.
That sums up the current generation. We're worried about Gucci on our Xbox instead of having a console. Yeah, sweet. Nah, that's so funny.
Realistically, the 100 people that buy this aren't going to play the goddamn Xbox.
Probably not. And
it's going to sit in this little fucking suitcase in like a fucking plastic wrap in their closet for like 20 years.
And then we'll see it sold 20 years in the future. And then I'll probably text your call and be like, hey, guess what I found on eBay for like $50,000? Oh, hey, it's the Gucci Xbox that comes with Game Pass. And at that point, Game Pass may not even exist. Who knows?
Microsoft and Italian luxury fashion house Gucci have teamed up for a special edition Xbox Series X. The $10,000 bundle, which includes the console, 2 wireless controllers, a subscription to Game Pass Ultimate, of unspecified length, JP.
Oh,
so
really?
you don't even
huh?
so that you don't even know how long you'll have Game Pass for. And a Gucci-made carrying case will go on sale November 17th and is limited to just 100 hand-numbered editions. Every component of the limited edition Xbox oozes Gucci branding. The Series X itself is laser engraved with the house's iconic design, which Gucci explains as having a double meaning. The GG pattern becomes a wordplay, not only representing Gucci's initials, Gucci's initials, but also the gaming phrase "good game." Oh my god! This sounds like literally sounds like a "how do you do, fellow kids" type of moment.
It's just, and I was about to say that because I could just remember Steve Buscemi. How do you do, fellow kids? And they're all like, "What?" And that's from Declassified. If you guys don't know where
it sounds like the PR guy for Gucci literally just heard his like 10-year-old son yelling "GG" over Fortnite, like the night before, and asked him what it meant, and he just learned like the new lexicon, and he's like, yeah, we got to include that in the press release. Good game is also emblazoned on the Gucci luggage. Xbox is on the opposite side, which is similar in style to the fake not fake line of bags that Gucci released in fall 2020. The interior features an Xbox green quilted lining and compartments for the console and controllers. A similar bag for Gucci's fake not fake line went for about $5,800 in 2020.
It's fake not fake line,
which helps explain the high cost of this particular bundle.
Well, you know, the thing that I'm kind of curious about, like everything Gucci, how long do we have to wait till there's bootlegs? You know, people are gonna be printing Gucci on their Xbox and going, yeah, just like the bag, face mask, wristbands, gloves, belts, pants, whatever the fuck Gucci puts their shit on, because it's just a mainstream staple at this point, but it's Gucci. So every single time there is something, you see a bootleg of it. And you can only tell it's a bootleg because you have to look really fine at it. So I wonder how long it's going to be till somebody replicates a bootleg console. It's going to be stupid, but you know it's coming.
If you have a spare $10,000 bill laying around, you can grab the Gucci Xbox bundle from one of the luxury brand stores in New York City, Beverly Hills, Mexico City, Milan, London, Berlin, Beijing, or Tokyo.
I don't even know what the point of console is to brag about it. I really, that's all I look at Gucci as, is because like even when people brag about it, they more than likely have bootlegs because they don't have money and they want to make it look like they have money, and it's just how real life plays out.
That's the funny thing I love is like people buying like a Gucci belt for like $500, and it's like you're flexing that you're trying to flex that you have money, but you just spent $500 on a
belt when you could have helped the homeless, or you could have done so many other things. I spent $500 on this belt. Wow.
You could have spent $10 on the belt and saved $490.
Or you could have got a bootleg and just said it was real, because that's what everyone fucking does anymore.
You could have got a Gucci belt.
The thing that I don't get is, you know, the most ridiculous Gucci bootleg thing I've ever seen, I'm sure there's a real Gucci thing, toilet paper. I shit you not. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's funny. I shit you not. No pun intended, but it really did turn into a haha kind of moment. But you know, people will buy anything with the Gucci logo, bootleg or not. I'm assuming the toilet paper was a bootleg, because if Gucci does that, that is just appalling. But then again, there is realistic rolls of toilet paper on like $1 bills and crap. So I don't even anymore. Who knows, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
this
boy.
one I found puzzling, JP.
Oh god.
Battlefield 2042 won't have voice chat at launch. The feature is scheduled to debut sometime afterward. This one is by Austin Goslin over at Polygon.
I would like to know what the Battlefield squad thinks about this, because that is absolutely appalling. In fact, that might be as embarrassing as Nintendo with their damn Bluetooth. That's just...
I think that just goes to show how rushed this game is. And
Battlefield
there,
Royale.
There was like so many, like, I don't know if you'd say leaks, but like rumors from insiders saying that like, hey, this game it was rushed. Like, it's not in a good state. Well, there was rumors going around that it switched halfway through development, that it was just initially just a battle royale game, and then they switched it to a more traditional Battlefield experience. But then there was a lot of people complaining about the beta that was out a few weeks ago, and DICE basically lied and was like, "Oh, this build is months old. Like, this is a way older build of the game." And now that the game is out on early access, people are like, "No, this is the exact same thing that we played in the beta."
And it's crashing consoles. The interesting part is, it's trending right now. Many reviews. Battlefield 2042 should have been delayed again. Let's see. Crashing Xbox consoles early access players say, and then of course there's the things you're saying about this and the same version. And I think it's just funny because, like I said, predicted it to a T. The Battlefield squad rolls out every year saying "Rip COD," and then they get plowed right over, and then it just redoes itself. And this is coming from a Battlefield fan. I love Battlefield. It's just with this game, like WB 2K22, not 2K22. Well, at this point it kind of is, but the writing's on the wall. 2K20 is the one I was going to say, but seeing how it was adding up, they were going to do a Battlefield Battle Royale kind of thing, and instead they decided to make a game and make some money and put multiplayer mode in it, and now it doesn't even have voice chat. That's... You gotta admit, that's pathetic. People can shit on Vanguard. I could be wrong, but like... Really.
I could have swore there was voice chat in the fucking beta. So how was it in the beta but not here?
I don't know.
I could be wrong on that, but whatever.
I just think it's funny because, the Battlefield squad can talk all the shit they want on COD, but the fact is, at least COD has voice chat.
Like, that's literally like...
It's just like, wow,
That's been like the basic thing that you need for a multiplayer game to thrive since like the early 2000s. Like, since the inception, basically, of Xbox Live. Like, almost every multiplayer game has had some sort of voice chat functionality.
And the thing is, it's like, people could say Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies is, like, very bare bones, but at least you could voice chat in Zombies. So, It's just, I just find it funny, because Battlefield fanboys are going to swallow a bitter pill. Can I say that I'm surprised? No, because this game it was blatantly obvious this game was rushed. The fact that they were pulling people from other EA games and everything to do this.
Yeah, they pulled the people off of Need for Speed.
Of Need for Speed to do this. Clearly, so it's just how it is, and I can't wait till it comes out that Battlefield flopped again compared to COD. It's just going to be funny to see the people try to swallow that pill, because it's coming, without a doubt. It doesn't matter pre-orders, because pre-orders don't matter anymore, but yeah.
And I mean, I'm not trying to stir up frickin' fanboy wars, because I think it's all fucking stupid.
It's all.
But I thought it was very telling that I checked the CoD Vanguard subreddit earlier today, and like almost every post that I saw was literally a bunch of people being like, "Should I refund Battlefield and get this game instead?" And I was like, "Damn!"
What?
I was like,
people
wow.
are actually saying that? Whoa, damn, man, they're coming crawling like rats. Oh man, that's great.
Let's get into the article. Battlefield 2042 has arrived in its early access period a week ahead of its public release on November 19th. But it's missing something that some players might find crucial: voice chat. The feature won't make its way into the game until sometime after the proper launch, developer DICE told Polygon. Communication is significantly more difficult without voice chat, but Battlefield 2042 does have a ping system with detailed menus to select exactly what you're trying to highlight for your squad mates. Unfortunately, using pings is extremely awkward and cumbersome and requires tripping through several menus to get to the right ping, rather than the smart ping system of games like Apex Legends. The lack of voice chat is frustrating for a social solo player in any of Battlefield 2042's modes, but it's most noticeable in Hazard Zone. That's the game's squad-based tactical mode where units, which pits you and your 3 allies against several enemy squads and AI opponents. Hazard Zone is designed to be a careful and strategic experience, but the lack of voice chat makes it a massive pain to play alone. It robs the mode of most of its fun if you don't have a dedicated squad of friends to play with, whom you can talk to via Discord.
God, the comments are great on some of these. They're like, so a full alpha release at launch. Got it. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
DICE didn't explain its reasoning for excluding voice chat from Battlefield 2042's launch, but the studio did say that it's working on the feature and that it should be added soon after release, but the developer didn't specify when that might be. The game will be available for everyone on PS5, PS4, Windows PC, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One on November 19th. Man, I feel like Battlefield players can't catch a break.
After all the shit they talk, they deserve it. But, you know, like I said, I love Battlefield, but as soon as they said no campaign, no, I was out. That's what makes Battlefield for me, personally. Battlefield 1 was incredible. After that, I personally would like to see a Bad Company sequel. I would totally buy that. This game, no.
I've, I would say dabbled at most with most of the Battlefield games I played. I think I technically own Battlefield 3, but I barely played it.
I picked up Battlefield 3 when it was $5, and it was a damn good $5.
Battlefield 4 I picked up years later on PS4 when it was on sale for dirt cheap.
Wait, that was Battlefield 4. I got no. I did play Battlefield 3 though.
I never owned Hardline. I played it at
Byers.
Yeah, at Josh's house.
Yeah, that's where I played Hardline. Hardline was a great game. I just think long term it just didn't. If they made a sequel and they refined all the problems, I think they'd have a great. Hardline, I think, was just rushed out the window, just like this. But
and then Battlefield 1, I played a little bit of. Again, I don't know, Battlefield multiplayer just never was it for me. And the campaigns were always kind of hit and miss for me. Some of them were good, some of them I could care less about.
The war stories. I'm a stand-up kind of guy. I swear I could just hear him saying that.
All right, so we have a few things to talk about with GTA. So let's start with GTA 4 Remaster, possibly leaked. This is from comicbook.com, Tyler Fisher at comicbook.com. According to a new rumor, GTA 4 Remastered is in development for PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. Rockstar Games is aiming to release the remaster sometime in 2023. In addition to the base game, the remaster will reportedly include episodes from Liberty City, which is comprised of the game's 2 expansions, The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Unfortunately, the rumor doesn't have much to say about the remaster, other than noting it will be single player only, which is to say it will not include multiplayer, which I think makes sense.
Well, that makes sense, because Grand Theft Auto 4, I will admit to you, I don't even know why they tried online. It just did, it did not work.
I literally don't remember almost anything about it. I just remember fucking around with Mark on it a lot.
Honestly, the whole thing was you spawned in a server of the world. You could pick up guns and health and stuff like that and kill each other, or you could do missions that would add up to money. Which I don't ever
remember doing missions.
Yeah, there was only I think 12 main missions in the game, and you would rank up by how much money that you profited. It was really just bare bones, and they just experimented. I don't think they even had to have it in. So to see no multiplayer, that's cool. I'm very excited for this because after they completely blew it on this recent remaster, they have a chance to really do something great. And it's GTA 4, so it's not going to be that hard to port it into a GTA 5 style engine on next gen or whatever, and then do what you got to do. All you got to do, add the weapon wheel like you already had in this other piss poor one that they put out, and then
all I have to say is please let an actual Rockstar studio work on it and not this mobile game developer again.
Yeah, because you can't really go wrong here, because Grand Theft Auto 4 looked great, and it will look great when it's revealed. It's just, the thing is that they have to do, this is literally where it's going to come down to. If they do not fix the vehicle physics and the combat system, I will not buy this game. I love Grand Theft Auto 4. It's just And I can't wait for Roman to call me up and go, Nico, you want to go bowling?
You want to go bowling?
So I can't wait to re-experience it. It was a great game. It's just the vehicle physics were god awful, especially on the motorcycles.
Oh my god!
God,
the motorcycles were horrible.
That's what killed the Lost in the Dam. Lost in the Dam and the Balgate Tony are incredible. It's just riding on the bike all the time. Oh my god, it was
literally if you were driving. There was only one specific bike that I could remember that actually handled decently, and it might have been the Sanchez, but literally every other bike, no matter what, if you just took a turn at all, you were just straight up fucking drifting, like sliding everywhere
and
for no reason.
And if you're speeding across the bridge, whoa man, once you get to that rough turn, it's all over, man. You're going over the highway. So and then my favorite was when you would drive the car up to you would go to the playground and
the swing set of Doom or whatever.
The swing set of Doom, and it would fly you across the map. Yeah. So as long, honestly, they have the perfect remaster. It is right in front of them. All they have to do is just clean it up a bit, put it on the next gen, on the GT5 next gen engine. That's all they have to do. And then, just add the weapon wheel, which they're going to, and they just have to improve the vehicle physics. There's just 3 core things they got to do. If they fuck it up, I'll be so pissed.
At this point, I have no reason to have faith in Rockstar. Given their recent track record, I have no reason to have faith.
I gotta admit, I'm losing hope. I'm excited for the GT5 Enhanced Expanded. I know you have a lot of issues with that in general, but excited for that. GT4, I feel like they cannot possibly fuck this up because the remaster they just put out was just... Yeah, and all the business tactics and that mobile port studio, so they really have a golden remaster on their platter along with RDR. They just have to keep it simple, just make it look better, and in Grand Theft Auto 4's case, just improve the physics and add a weapon wheel. I'm sure when they do Red Dead, they'll probably have a new updated version, but yeah, after the GTA definitive, not so definitive, piss filtered remaster, they really need to step this up, or else I will not buy that. I love Grand Theft Auto 4. It was really great for its time. Ironically, on the PS3 when that game came out, the trophies were not added for about 3 months after release. It came in a patch, which a lot of games back then did. That makes me sound old because that was 13 years ago. But I still have my lockbox too, ironically. And I have all the collector artwork. It's really cool. So I hope they don't fuck it up. And the RDR one, I swear, if they fuck that up, I will be so pissed. But I know I will not be doing that.
Let's just continue reading a little bit to round off the article. As for the rumor, it comes by way of Ralph, a new leaker who has quickly risen to prominence for mostly providing leaks and insider information on Call of Duty, and in particular Call of Duty 2022, which is rumored to be a follow-up to 2019's Modern Warfare reboot. So far, some of the leakers' claims have been substantiated by other industry insiders and leakers, but many of their claims have yet to come to fruition. In other words, take it all with a grain of salt. At the moment of publishing, Rockstar Games nor its parent company Take-Two nor anyone involved with either have addressed any of this. We don't expect this to change for a variety of reasons, but if it does, we'll be sure to update the story accordingly. And then it goes on to have a whole summary about.
So I'm actually very excited. Speaking of GTA, I need to get back on GTA 5 to not only get the money, but there is a new exclusive content for the remastered shirts and stuff that'll port over the PS5. So
I haven't read through these 2 articles. They might play into each other a little bit. So let's start with over at Polygon by Michael McWhorter. We have Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remaster has a rough launch, angering fans. Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, isn't definitive enough for some longtime players.
It's not definitive at all.
Rockstar Games released the GTA, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition on Thursday, an enhanced collection of the PS2-era GTA games. While the re-releases of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas have clear and definitive improvements to controls and quality of life features, many fans are expressing their displeasure over the game's updated graphics. The Windows PC version of the game has its own major problem. Rockstar had to pull it from sale due to major problems with the company's own launcher. Players who owned the PC version were also unable to play the re-release due to the issues with the Rockstar Games launcher. On Friday morning, Rockstar Games support team said on Twitter, quote, "We thank you for your patience and understanding as we continue to work on restoring services for the Rockstar Games launcher and supported titles," end quote. Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition is still available for sale on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox platforms, but players who have those versions of the game have been grousing about the fit and finish of Rockstar Trilogy's remaster. posting videos and screenshots of questionably updated graphics. Players have pointed out graphical issues with the Definitive Edition's version of San Andreas, which seems to have gotten the most attention thanks to its release on Xbox Game Pass on Thursday. Related to overhauled faces, fog and weather effects, and misspelled text on signs. Those players have taken to Reddit and Twitter to call out the graphical quirks, bugs, and texture and model changes to the game. Players have also pointed out misspellings on the signs in the Definitive Edition version of San Andreas and Vice City. Store signage for Shaft hot dogs that once read the taste of the real man's meat now displays as the taste of a real man's heat. While the Guitar Shop promotes Guitar Hank booths available and AR guitars. Originally, the Guitar Shop signage read Guitar Wank booths available and air guitars.
Like I said, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. I think, honestly, the whole point of this was just to put it out, just appease people because they bitched about a remaster for years. Fuck them. We'll just make a quick buck. We'll filter piss so it's clear, and we'll make some edits. We'll throw it out there. They won't even notice. They'll pre-order thinking it's the full remaster. They wanted it, and then they play the game, and they're like, what the fuck is this? I also just thought of something. So this, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. The GTA 4 remaster, I want to say it will come out in April 2023, because that will be 15 years since it released on the PS3 and Xbox 360. That is my prediction. So that just hit me when I was thinking about it. But I don't really, the more I see these remasters, the more it's just like, yeah, sure, you added, an extra rock and a tree and maybe some, fog, and it's like, all right, $60. And it's like, no. I had a feeling they were going to start editing a lot of the puns they made back in the day, because nowadays people would get highly offended, like a real man's meat. You already know the conversation that would be had about that in modern culture. There's actually quite a few things throughout the game that I have a feeling they definitely took out. In GTA San Andreas, there was a drink called monkey jizz or something like that, and it literally showed a monkey getting practically castrated, but it was sucking the jizz out of their nuts. I have a feeling they really, there's probably a lot of stuff that got covered up in these. I'm not even gonna say remaster, I whatever the hell this is called. But yeah. So
overall, from the things I've been seeing, it definitely seems like
the people that never played them are happy, but they don't know what they missed.
No, the thing I've been seeing mostly, I mean, granted I haven't looked into it a ton, but it seems to me, I honestly think that this game, I think that originally this game, and I mean, rumors had kind of claimed that this game and GTA 5 Expanded and Enhanced, their release dates basically swapped.
They swapped.
Because the rumor was that this was going to come out early next year.
In March.
And then we had already had the release date of Expanded and Enhanced, which was supposed to be coming out in
the same day,
November 17th.
Or November...
Something like that.
Yeah, so they flip-flopped releases.
And so it seems like they pushed this forward so that they had some type of GTA game releasing this year. And...
I mean...
clearly it seems like this was not ready to come out.
Well, to be fair, even if they came out in March, I wouldn't buy it either. So, no skin off my balls. But it's just
here. But the thing is it's from what I've been seeing, there's very it's not even the changes between all three games are consistent. It's for the controls and the aiming and stuff it is, but when it comes to graphics, certain things on certain games look way better than other things on the other games, and it's the graphics aren't consistent. The graphical upgrades aren't consistent in the three games.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's it's very clear that they were that this just wasn't finished, and they were just well, we fucking gotta put it out, so here we go.
Mm-hmm. So what's that other story that might blend in?
It was talking about the PC launcher, which I'll head over to that one and see what else it has to say.
How can you possibly fuck up your own? I like I said, this was just rocky as shit, but I mean, I saw it coming a mile. Apparently a lot of people didn't, and they fell for nostalgia, and now they're crying to their wallet. But honestly, my friends that never played the original games, they're enjoying it, but they don't know what they missed when they're shown and told about what they missed. then they get pissed, and then they're like, what the fuck happened? So it's strange.
Yeah.
Personally, you have the Up-Res collection, the original definitive collection. Just keep that. Save the $60. You can put that to GTA 5 or GTA 4's Remaster or whatever the hell you want. CoD Vanguard, the hell you want.
For me, the biggest tell of like Rockstar knew this was not what people wanted because they own, like, when the game was announced, the announcement for the game was a fucking blog post.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go back to that. Like, literally, like a month ago, we got a random blog post on a random, like, Monday.
Hey guys!
That was like, hey guys, GTA the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition is real. And remember, that blog post had no screenshots, no trailer, nothing.
No, nothing.
It wasn't until like
a release day or something.
A week and a half, 2 weeks ago that we got the first trailer, and it was like 50 seconds of footage
of the best scenes from the series.
And then nothing. And then also keep in mind that media didn't get review codes for the game. So people weren't able to review the game before it launched.
Yep,
which is another telltale sign to me that they knew that this was not going to get good reviews.
You notice how this and WWE 2K20 kind of play hand in hand, except this game actually plays. Same kind of thing happened. They didn't show screenshots, no review copies, no nothing until the very last minute, and then they threw it out and they said, all right, guys, have at it, and then everybody got angered. At least this plays 2K20 clear. That's a whole nother topic for another.
And then, of course, you know, we could get into the fact that they removed the original version of the games and sent cease and desist to modders and stuff.
Yeah, so you knew. I would love to see Rockstar Studio. They're probably just sitting there drinking and everything. All right, guys.
I don't know about the Rockstar launcher thing, but I could be wrong. But I think the reason the game might have been pulled from PC for an undetermined amount of time. I had seen on Twitter this morning that somebody was like looking through the files of the PC version of the game, and apparently, and I don't know why they would do this, but apparently when it came to the songs that were removed from the games, they weren't actually removed, like they were still in the files of the game. It was just that like they coded into the radio stations to skip over those songs that they didn't get the licenses for, but they were still in the game, and if you went in and swapped around the code, you could force them to play in the game.
Yep. So
the files were still there. So I think it has something to do with copyright, why they pulled it on PC. And then I don't know if they purposefully broke the Rockstar launcher to try to cover their tracks or what, but
it's just a piss poor launch without a doubt.
John Walker over at Kotaku, again, like I said, GTA Trilogy pulled for PC, Rockstar launcher broken. Update back. Launcher is back now. It had been down for over 18 hours. So I'm just going to skim through this. Something's gone very, very wrong since yesterday's launch of the GTA Trilogy on PC. It's been at least 18 hours since the sudden disappearance of the PC's GTA Trilogy, and Kotaku can confirm that the launcher is not working, which means all Rockstar PC games, including Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA Online, are currently impossible to play. For whatever reason, Rockstar chose to remove all versions of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas from alternative PC stores, including Steam, ahead of its launch, meaning its bespoke software is now the only way to buy and play the game, or indeed the only way to not play it. Rockstar's support Twitter has described that it's being temporarily offline for maintenance, saying services will be back soon as it's complete, except it said that some 18 hours ago on the big launch day for its remastered versions of the first three 3D GTA games. Astonishingly, the account then went silent for 15 hours before early this morning, finally acknowledging the problem hadn't gone away. Rockstar support said on Twitter, "We thank you for your patience and understanding as we continue to work on restoring services for the Rockstar Games launcher and supported titles." The normally chatty support account also stopped replying to messages since this incident started, no matter the topic. We've contacted Rockstar for more information and will update if they respond.
Congratulations, Rockstar. That was a fantastic launch. That was incredible.
Update as of 11/12/2021 at 6:59 p.m. Rockstar Games launcher is back up, but Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy still needs some tinkering before it returns. Quote, Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy will remain unavailable to play or purchase as we work to remove some data files that were unintentionally included in the new versions of the game. See, I was right. A notice on the Rockstar Games support site explains, "We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and we hope to have the correct versions of the game up and running for everyone as soon as possible."
Fantastic.
The interesting thing to me is how the hell was it easier for them to leave the music files in the game and just code the radio stations to skip them? Why couldn't they just delete the files?
I don't know.
You would think that, and I'm granted, like,
Maybe
I don't know
just,
programming, but you would think that would be the easier solution.
Maybe they just
Not to mention they had to do that because of copyright. Like, the files couldn't be in the game any longer.
Maybe they got too high one day and said, that'll be cool. Who's going to find it? And clearly they underestimated data miners.
I mean, granted, obviously, like, this studio isn't Rockstar proper, but they should have learned from the hot coffee fiasco that anything left in the files can very easily be found.
Very easily be found. and that was
back in the game.
And that was back on the PS2 with Game Shark. So you think with high-tech devices they can't do that now? Yeah, no. Yeah, if you put some in the game that's not meant to be found, they will find it, and they will either make an ass out of you or they will have fun and mod it in anyway.
Exactly. But JP, speaking of digging through files and finding things you weren't supposed to find, our final story for the week: Call of Duty Vanguard leaks hint at Captain America and Indiana Jones cameos.
Yep. Beat
down the Nazis as two of the Disney's biggest Nazi hunters.
Yep.
This is by Ryan Gilliam, I believe, over at Polygon. Captain America and Indiana Jones have three things in common. They hate Nazis, they're owned by Disney, and they both might be coming to Call of Duty Vanguard, according to unconfirmed references to the characters in the game's files. Data miners say they have discovered in-game mentions and artwork that suggests that cameos for both Disney heroes could be making their way into the latest Call of Duty game, possibly in their own event. Call of Duty content creator Modenas HD posted apparent references to Captain America and Indiana Jones sets discovered in Vanguard, as well as artwork of a Captain America player card. The two pieces of artwork that Modenas HD posted are old fan creations, however, and do not appear to originate from Vanguard. On Thursday, VGC reports that it had, quote, seen additional artwork claims to have... It had, quote, seen additional artwork claimed to have been pulled from Vanguard's game files, including player cards featuring Indy and Cap, end quote. Other leakers have also hinted at Captain America and Indiana Jones tie-ins for the newest Call of Duty game. And there's a tweet here from Modenas HD, which says, it basically shows like the file paths for them. It says S4_AH_set_ Captain America and S4AH_set_ Indiana Jones.
Yep.
So S4 equals Vanguard Season 4 and AH equals American Heroes event.
Yeah, I think it's coming, and I mean, just like Michael Myers and Jigsaw are rumored for Season 6, which would be around Halloween. I think Michael Myers will definitely be a set for that. I can't see why not, because Halloween ends. That's the official ending of the series until it gets remade years later. Probably, who knows? They might even just jump right into a remake or a redo of the films, but yeah. So it's pretty cool knowing we at least have it. I mean, I knew they were going to definitely do something. I mean, you saw Rambo and McClane in Cold War, so obviously American Heroes, that makes sense. So American Heroes will be in Season 4.
That, if the timeline lines up, that should be around the 4th of July, which, again, makes sense.
Which makes sense, American Heroes. So that is definitely going to be what we get there. And who knows, Michael Myers in Season 6 maybe, and who knows, there's probably going to be at least like 4 other people, like... People were rumored saying that Clint Eastwood might be in, which would make sense.
The other rumor, which I didn't pull any articles on it, but there's another rumor that there might be an Attack on Titan tie-in with the game pretty soon.
Attack on Titan tie-in. I heard Clint Eastwood. That would be one hell of a tie-in because he's a cowboy and American icon. Yeah, there's a lot of things they're probably tinkering around with. Obviously, that can make them a lot of money, and obviously it's all about money. I just think it's crazy knowing that Disney is working with Call of Duty.
While still unconfirmed, both Captain America and Indiana Jones wouldn't be huge stretches for Call of Duty Vanguard. Both characters are period appropriate, battling through World War II in their own stories. Second, this wouldn't be the strangest crossover we've seen from Call of Duty. Not only have we seen R-rated action heroes like John McClane from Die Hard and John Rambo, but Frank the Bunny from Donnie Darko and Jigsaw from Saw have also shown up in the Call of Duty games.
Well, they fucked that up. It's Billy the Puppet, not Jigsaw. So... Yeah, so that's interesting. Ghostface has appeared. That was something I was like, wow, because he wasn't in the 6, but yeah, he appeared with Verdes. So at this point, anybody and anyone could be added in the COD. Let's be real. They're gonna put Ghostface in 10 years before his time. Clearly, anybody could show up in Call of Duty as long as it fits the bill and the time.
Still, Disney characters, primarily Marvel superheroes, have mostly appeared in cartoonish... Okay. Still, Disney characters, primarily Marvel superheroes, have mostly appeared in cartoonish, less violent form in Fortnite. And one has to wonder how much the family-friendly company wants to be associated with the realistic violence of Call of Duty. It's also possible that Captain America and Indy themselves won't appear in Vanguard, but that their iconic weapons, the round shield and whip, respectively, and gear could instead, based on another intriguing reported leak. While not directly tied to the inclusion of Captain America or Indiana Jones, Call of Duty data miner Nanikos, who also posted about a new atomic camo glitch in Vanguard, tweeted about another potential Vanguard crossover, Attack on Titan. Nanikos credits content creator Drake Hurley with finding the model for the anime's famous swords. Polygon has reached out to Activision, to Call of Duty publisher Activision for comment, and will update when the company responds, which they're not going to respond.
They're not going to respond. Yeah,
but
so,
I mean,
we could definitely see what they're going to put in. It's not a stretch. Out of all the characters I've already heard rumors of.
Indiana Jones makes enough sense for me because Indiana Jones already is like a mature type of, movie and a mature character. Captain America is where it does get iffy for me on, do they want to allow you to just fucking riddle Captain America with bullets and do all the different executions to Captain America and stuff like that. So that's why the part in the article where it says it could just be their weapons, which I don't.
Nah, they're going to be in the game. Without a doubt, they have to do something big. 4th of July. That definitely would be it. I think they're going to fully be in the game without a doubt.
The leak of saying it's their weapons, it's like, how is a fucking whip and a circular shield going to work in Call of Duty?
Yeah, I don't even know. I that's why I think they're going to be in the game. Because American Heroes Season 4, 4th of July, it's just really, it's on the wall at this point.
I will say, if a Captain America skin comes to Call of Duty, I would immediately drop $20 on that.
Yeah, people are gonna totally shell it out. So I think it's real. We'll have to wait and see. And I'm sure there's gonna be another cast of people before Season 4, but probably that Attack on Titan thing. And who knows? In Season 6 could damn well be Michael Myers and John Kramer or Jigsaw for real this time, not Billy the Puppet. Somehow get that confused. Very, very weird, but. So we'll have to see. There's definitely going to be quite a cast of characters that come to Vanguard at some point. If Michael Myers comes in, you betcha I'm spending $20 on that right off the get-go. Oh yeah, just like Ghostface. I'll drop it.
But, yeah, and I mean, like they said, it makes sense period-wise, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I want to have hope, but also it does seem like something Disney wouldn't want to do in the sense of, from not necessarily a marketing standpoint, because obviously it'll make them a shit ton of money.
But
they are very protective of their IP in weird ways like that, which is with Fortnite it works better because there's not blood, and it's yes they are shooting each other with guns, but there's no blood, and it's when you kill someone they just disappear.
In this game you could literally get your leg blown off.
Yeah, you can get your legs and your torso blown off and your head blown off, and you can go up behind somebody and just execute the shit out of them, and
honestly, you know what's gonna happen with the whip and the shield. It's gonna be in their finishing moves. That's when it's gonna come out.
Yeah,
you'll probably knock their head right off and pull their.
Dude, a Captain America finishing move where he fucking tosses the shield.
He's gonna just toss it. I think they're just planning on it. So I think that's gonna happen. Attack on Titan, Michael Myers, maybe John Kramer. I'm
all for Call of Duty delving more into the Fortnite type of crossover, because Fortnite it literally has a new crossover with a new IP every week.
Boba Fett's the next one, I believe.
Yeah, Boba Fett just got announced I think today, but they just did Venom, and then right before that they did Carnage, and they've had every mainstream DC hero and villain that I can think of. There's Batman, there's Superman, there's Wonder Woman, I think there's Flash, there's Aquaman. There's Joker, there's, Harley Quinn, there's all these different things. There's a ton of Marvel stuff. Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thanos was in. I don't know if Thanos is an actual playable character, a skin that you can buy, but he was playable in a certain mode. So I'm all for Call of Duty branching out and doing more of that stuff, because, I mean, it's an arcade shooter. I'm sure there's going to be people pissed off about it. This isn't a realistic World War II game anymore. Captain America's here. And it's Call of Duty was never meant to be a realistic war game.
And then you could literally go, well, go
past COD 2.
Yeah,
and COD 3, like,
and
it wasn't
could,
meant to be realistic anymore.
And you could be like, oh, well, Ghostface is in Cold War. Scream didn't come out till 1996. The Cold War ended about 11 years before that. So, you know, I kind of confirm where they're going. I think Ghostface is the topper on that. You know, it really would just make sense that Captain America, Indiana Jones, Clint Eastwood, if they go that route with the cowboy, that would make sense. There's so many rumors and options. So we'll have to see what happens, but quite interesting.
But with that being said, guys, this has been another episode of the HexxedPhenom Gamescast, the show where we bring you the weekly video game news you need to know about each and every week. It goes live every Saturday on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom and on podcast services around the globe. But until next time, guys, Phenom out.